want to know if we can hear ourselves.
Test on your phone. That's what I would do. That's all I did. Put my headphones in and try to listen to myself. But yeah, it should be good. I'm confident, audio, all that.
All right.
Did you bring your
Sweetie, I bring my earpiece? I do have them.
No. You each wear one.
Okay.
I hit 1 3 and
All right, their names are coming up on your assigned lanes. Anybody wants to, we're streaming on Berkey Turkey's Pro Shop YouTube channel. Tag and share anybody there. I also want to thank our sponsors again, C&M Trucking Services, Northwest, Senior Missouri Bowlers Tour, Storm, Bowling Products, Missouri Bowling Tournaments Facebook group, Miller's Tires, Lisa Finley, Shelter Insurance, Nick Little with Genius Graphics, btbowlingsupply.com, Revolutions Lanes. Get you started with practice. We're ready to go.
Sweetie, you can't hear anything. This doesn't have a microphone.
I should hear. You get the podcast, you get this up on your
Well, I'm not up yet. It says for live, I don't see it. Can you see it's live right
Hey,
here?
have that on, trying to do it now. Share the site.
Testing, testing, testing. Testing, testing, testing. Testing, testing, testing. Did you hear us?
I hear the background you saved.
Yeah, but I can't hear us.
Fine in there. I just.
Yeah, it's delayed. You can hear us. Barely.
Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Good?
Very faint. What I'm hearing in the earpiece. I don't know how it sounds. Okay.
The quality of this. Double check.
Okay. Working on some sound adjustments here. There's about 6 minutes left in the practice warm-up session.
More than clear.
Okay, very good.
Match concludes. Let's report to the bracket board. So we can update the bracket.
Well, good afternoon, bowling fans. Welcome to the third annual Missouri Masters, coming live from Revolutions Lanes and Fun Center in St. Joseph, Missouri, where we have 32 bowlers. We started out with 122 entries yesterday and Friday evening over several squads, and we're in the match play round. It is a double elimination event. And on our featured pair 9 and 10, we have Daryl Kaiser versus Ethan Lichty, Victor Cortez, and Zach Rhodes. I'm Monty Smith. My broadcast partner is my lovely wife, Rhonda Brown Smith.
Hi, sweetie. How are you doing?
Well, we're doing just fine. Get ready to enjoy match play action.
Now, Daryl Kaiser drove all the way from South Dakota, and he was second last year, so he's looking for a little revenge, I think. Ethan Lick, we just met this weekend. He's from Iowa. He's a bowler for William Penn, and he did really well today in the round of 32 for Cashier's round and got himself a spot here in the top 16.
And we are off to a good start. So the pattern that the bowlers have been competing on is the 2022 USBC Masters pattern. And it's a very challenging pattern. The ratio is 8-1. I think it's a 41 foot pattern with a short reverse brush drop and a lot of buff. So we're seeing a quick transition in this pattern. And it's playable from several angles, but it seems on the fresh, the best move is just to try to keep everything in front of you. Try to stay around a break point of 8 or 9 and play the pocket and make spares. And that certainly was the story all weekend. That spare shooting was crucial. I believe the highest game in qualifying was 237. So we have a field of bowlers. Probably, I would venture to say every single one of those bowlers has a minimum of 1-300 game in their history, and nobody broke 237.
Right. And Victor, he's PBA bowler. He's from Nebraska. He came down with Jasmine Snell this weekend. And then we have Zach Rhodes on our pair right now, and he's a former Wichita State bowler.
Yes.
From Lawrence area, I think. He's from Kansas. Oh, Zach, come on. All right. I think if they can control the pocket and they don't have splits, I think that we're in better shape. As we know, spares are scoring opportunities. There you go.
There you go, Ethan, with a nice strike on lay 9. I'm hearing a lot of butter coming in on our broadcast. So there's a commercial.
There was a commercial. But that was not on broadcast. That was on my phone.
All right, Daryl Kaiser is a very nice stone 8-pin. So very good shot. Not the result he was hoping for. Zach Rhodes up on lane 9. 9 spare in the first frame. An excellent shot for a strike to Zach. So the way this is working is Ethan is bowling Daryl and Zach is bowling Victor. This is a double elimination tournament. The winner will remain on the winner's side of the bracket. The loser of the match will go to the elimination bracket. The winners keep advancing in the elimination bracket. If you win, you continue to advance. If you lose, then you're out of the tournament. Victor missed pretty far to the right on that shot. Just did not make it. The gutter right now is not playing very well. Get outside of about the third board, you would expect to completely miss a head if you can even keep your ball on the lane. Excellent shot at the washout for Mr. Cortez.
See a lot of people who were here last year.
A lot of bowlers returned to compete this year.
The question is, will Ryan Powers prevail for 3 years in a
Well,
row?
Ryan Powers did make match play. It was expected that he would make match play. He's won the first 2 events, and this would be his 3rd consecutive. If he does not win, we'll have a new champion. But the infancy of this event, which we hope continues to grow and is offered every season, Ryan has 2 wins and 2 events here at the Missouri Masters. But I can think of about 31 other bowlers that would like to change that history to a new champion. Zach got a little wide with that, and that's exactly what happens on this pattern. You get a little wide with it, and it just will not read the lane, and you'll miss the head pin. He has left at 128. It's a spare that he should convert, and that certainly is the story of this event. Keep the ball, yes, keep the ball in play around the pocket and make your spares. And Victor just 4-pinned. This pattern is, as I mentioned earlier, it is 40 feet long. Reverse brush is 35 feet, 32.3 units of oil. And 16 forward, 15 reverse, and some change. Gutter to gutter, 9 loads. So if you study bowling patterns, you should recall that the 2-to-2 loads tell you the difficulty of the pattern. Anything over 6 is very difficult, and this is not. So scoring pace on this pattern is a lot lower than what you would expect from the caliber of players who competed. Oh, Victor missed a spare. Was left off of his hand.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Best way to go at spares, as straight as you can go, hard and straight. The ratio on this pattern is 1.83 to 1. So if you're new to bowling, or if you're a league bowler, when you're bowling in your league, the patterns that you're bowling on typically are 12 to 1, sometimes 20 to 1 ratio. So there's a lot of help out there on the lane. This pattern, there is no help out there on the lane. It's very flat, and it's gotten flatter every time this pattern's been put down. So this is going to play very, very difficult. may open up in a little bit. There may be some good scores. I anticipate some good scores, but there's going to be a lot of struggle out here today. Ethan got a little soft with that when it came up high on him. Victor's riding the struggle bus here. Split open, 7 spare, 9 miss. That one got away from him, but he left something he can make. So even though he whipped the head pin on that shot, a spare will not hurt you in this tournament. Just looking around, I see on 11 and 12 we have Carly Kenny started her game with a double, a split and a conversion, and 8 spare. Also on lane 12, Braden Wallier, 6-2, strike, 9 spare, 6 spare. So, grind going on here. One player through 4 frames. 2 players are clean. So clean is very good. All right, here goes Zach on lane 9.
Good shot.
Excellent
Almost
shot.
at 7-10.
10-pin standing, 7-pin was a little slow to leave the deck. But he's left a makeable spare. And that's the key. Ethan with a nice strike. And Zach's going to cover that 10-pin very nicely. And he remains clean. The very first year of the tournament, Zach had a very strong showing in this event, a good finish. He did make it into the championship round. Daryl Kaiser also had an excellent tournament last year. I believe he finished in 2nd place.
Yes, I believe so. He would like to rectify that situation this year.
He certainly would. Seems to be going through some different bowling balls. Left a mini super washout here on lane 9. Beautiful shot from Zach Rhodes. Ring and 10-pin. Ball went through. Ball looked really good going through the 10s.
For Daryl Kaiser.
Seemed just a little long, but that could have gone. Daryl made that mini super washout, and he's staying clean. And that's exactly what you need to do. Oh, what a break for Carly Kenny over on lane 11. Got away from her.
How the shake of the hand made that 4-pin go?
Well, I realized that she helped it down with her hand, but our dear friend, the late Mo Pinnell, says that does not work.
Oh, pish posh.
That's what Mo would say.
I know.
Well, Mo would say a lot of things that people might disagree with, but certainly Carly got that 4-pin to tip over for her, and she's clean through 6 frames.
So there's no complaint on Carly's.
Okay, well, it seems like I had a repeat of the opening of the broadcast, so we'll just run with it and we'll keep going.
That
Daryl
was because somebody said there was a commercial on, and so we tried to rectify it.
Daryl Kaiser seems to be fishing for a different ball reaction here. He just can't seem to find it, but he's clean through 5. He's left a tricky 2, 4, 5, 8 combination for spare.
Oh, Ethan is happy.
Well, Ethan had an open and a double, and an open and a double. So keep it going. Boy. Yeah, Daryl tried to hook at that bucket, and it just didn't work out for him. I mean, I'm sitting in the booth. I'm not bowling anymore, but I bowled on this thing. In my opinion, hard and straight at all those spares.
I would not disagree. Did you see that Natalie Duffy just had a difficult 4 count she picked up? Or excuse me, 6 count. She had 4 pins. It was a lot better. Good job. And she's also clean.
Well, and she is clean. Here goes Zach again. Maybe Zach looked like Zach was inside his target a little bit on that shot.
We were surprised down here this morning on your round when we thought that there was a lot of friction down there that we hadn't anticipated.
Certainly, I hit this pair, and I certainly found when I tried to go straighter, couldn't get the ball motion I wanted. And when I moved left, it actually hooked early.
Right.
So, I'm not sure why. Shinier equipment wouldn't hook. Anything with surface seemed to hook at the arrows. I think Zach has the best line. He was inside of 20 on his previous shots. Ethan's in there with him. He's a little more direct.
Oh, Ethan's blowing him up now.
That was a beautiful shot.
It was.
Daryl Kaiser's up on 189. Second frame with 101 on an open in the 6th.
We're finding that friction. We just can't get the ball out to hook into the pocket.
Yeah, it looks from what I've seen on Ethan's shot, he's getting the ball to hold. Daryl's not. Zach's just inside of everybody. Seems to have a pretty good look.
There it goes.
Beautiful shot for Zach.
That's a good one. I like that.
That ball had a little less entry angle than when he rang that 10 pin earlier. It looked really good. Like he's got the solution to lane 10,
Oh, Daryl.
but it's
Good way
a
to
very,
use.
very fine execution to get that 10 pin out.
Daryl got a little action off the sidewall to pick up that 9 pin.
Let's see if Vicker can put a strike on a strike here in the 7th frame. Well, he certainly liked it, and there it is. Double for Victor Cortez.
Looks like this Victor Cortez and Zach Rhodes could be a nail biter right now.
Well, right now. You see what happens on the next shot here for Zach. As far as the matches go, I mean, Daryl and Ethan, it's a close match, but Ethan's in the driver's seat. Oh, it's out.
Oh, he didn't like it. Those hands waved it on and it didn't turn.
He did not get it to hook like Miss Kenny did.
I think Mo's saying, I told you so.
Perhaps. All right. tough spare, and now that hurt. Daryl opened. He's got 129, I believe, and the score comes back up through 8 frames. Nope, 128. 128 the 8, and Ethan with the spare. Let's see. That's gonna hook.
Oh, it's still tight.
Well, I got 2 out on that spare. And that's going to give him 149 through 8. So he's in pretty good shape. Now we got Victor Cortez up on lane 10 working on a double. Got it out, and he got it all the way back. The 10-pin stood, and then it fell over.
It sure fought him, didn't it?
So that's a triple. So Zach needs to strike on his shot.
This match should be over quickly as the other pairs to our right have 6 on them instead of 4.
Needs to push. And Zach got inside his target on that shot. The ball just took off on him. This is very flat when you get in the middle of the lane. I think Zach has a good line. Victor's playing the same line. You've got to get the ball out to the break point, but there's absolutely no hold on this shot. And there's very little room for recovery right now. It may open up in a little bit. And right now, you missed 2 boards right, it's not coming back. Well, that was more exciting than it needed to be, Mr. Rose, but you did cover the spare. And Ethan's having trouble making a spare here today. He's got 157 through 9. He's in better position than Mr. Kaiser. But still, it's a very close match. And see what Daryl can do here in the 9th frame. Ooh, came up high, got the fortunate break, only left the 47.
Ethan's in control.
Oh. Natalie Dutton had left the 4-9 on lane 8. She made a shot at it, thought she was going to nick it, and she just missed it. We got 8 out. All right, Daryl covers his spare. All right, here's Zach. So Zach can shoot 215, but he's got to go striking a 9, punch out the 10th. That ball just hooked right up on him. I don't think he liked it, but he walked off the approach and held his hands up, and what bowlers usually are saying, what happened on that shot?
All right.
That was my entire cashier's round was what happened on that shot. Victor's coming up high, but Victor's on a triple. He just got a 9 count. So Zach's got a pesky little 310 split up on lane 10 here in the 9th frame. He's got 153 through 8 frames, and Victor has 143 now through 8 frames. Still has count working in his favor, but Zach needs to convert this 310.
Zach does.
Yeah, boy, makes a good shot at it, but the what happened on that shot, and I saw that happen to a lot of bowlers, including me. We're going cross lane at that 310. There's just enough oil towards the outside of this pattern that your ball will push right off the spare to the right.
So Victor has 203 out there, and Zach has, I think, 190. Something. I'll have to see what happened. Yeah, 192.
Zach's back score is 192. Victor, if he strikes out,
203.
can shoot 203, I believe. We just lost the screen on our view. Yes, 203 max. Ethan just left the 245.
Yeah, the
Very typical of ball motion that you can leave.
goodness.
You can leave a 245. You just miss it a little bit at the bottom, get it a little bit right. Right. Over to our right on lane 11, Carly Kinney clean, 206. Excellent score, and Brandon Cruz, she defeated Brandon clean, 194. So very close, very tough match.
Tough match.
And back to our pair. Daryl Kaiser missed the 10 pin and the 10th frame for a total of 156.
So Ethan Lick
So
moves
Ethan
on.
is going to remain in the winner's bracket, and Daryl's going to be off to the elimination bracket.
I prefer to think of that as contenders.
He is a contender. As long as he's in the tournament, he has a chance to win, that's for sure. And Victor with a beautiful shot. First shot, the 10th. So Victor strikes on his next shot. He will shut out Zach Rhodes. 9 spare, any spare, shuts out Zach Rhodes. Got wide, and back it comes, and he mixes them out. So Victor Cortez will defeat Zach Rhodes. Victor will remain on the winner's side of things, and Zach is off to the elimination bracket.
What's happening over to our left? Our right, left. We have
The other
Dave Dent. Exactly. Dave Dentlinger has got a handle on his match against Josh Myers. David Cheney and Brian Manini. They're okay right now. They're kind of a nail biter too. Natalie Dutton, 109, working a strike in the 7th. But her opponent, Colby Mooney, has got a spare hopefully coming up.
And Victor Cortez puts 203 on the board and defeats Zach Rhodes, as we said. Victor had a slow start. He could not find anything. He didn't have much in warm-up. He didn't have anything in the first 5 frames. He made a couple of ball changes. He moved in deeper, and he managed to pull that game out, build it out at the end for a very nice 203.
And Zach had 170, but we know that earlier when we were in qualifying, that was a great game.
Oh, 170. If you were in the cashier's round and you averaged 175, you made the match play bracket.
Exactly.
They played different and a lot tougher, in my opinion.
Natalie strikes, it'll be pretty close with her match.
Hard.
Well, while we're waiting for the next group of bowlers to come to our pair,
Oh,
let's
and the ball
bring
got
up
away from her. Oh my goodness, look at all that.
our sponsors. So first, we'd like to thank Revolution Lanes and Fun Center in St. Joseph, Missouri, for hosting the event. Brian and Jackie Manini, proprietors. Brian is in the match play bracket, but where is he? Oh, there he is. He's having a struggle game. He's clean, but it's ugly. He converted a split. He had a 3 count and a spare, and he just found a big gray board here on his shot in the 9th. So hopefully he can spare that up.
Spares it up. He should be okay.
We'd also like to thank Miller's Tire, the Missouri Bowling Tour, Genius Graphics, C&M Truck Service, Berkey Turkey Bowling Supply, and Berkey Turkey's Pro Shop. Ryan Burks, proprietor, and Dan McCook. You have Shelter Insurance Company. Your shelter agent is Miss Lisa Findley, and Lisa supports a lot of bowling in the St. Joseph area and the Missouri area. She also helps sponsor other tournaments besides this one. The Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour, brought to you by Mr. Dan Schmierbach, who runs a fine series of tournaments every bowling season for competitive senior bowlers. They are scratch events. They are contested throughout the Midwest, Missouri, Nebraska, Kansas. Excellent tournaments, very well run, a lot of entries. We also like to thank Storm Bowling for sponsoring the 2025 Missouri Masters. And being handed an update of our bracket play here. So eventually on 17, where are we? I'm not finding my lanes here. Please be patient. It appears our stand by. I apologize. I can't read what we have going on here on the bracket, so I'm not sure who's going to be with us next on 9 and 10. So we'll try to go over here to lane 7 and 8 while we're waiting for our next contestants. First match is Josh Myers versus Dave Bentlinger. And Dave has the match well at hand. Max score for Josh Myers is 200, and Dave already has 196 working on strike, so he's going to win that match. Our proprietor, Brian Manini, through 9 frames, has 156. His opponent, 132, working on a spare.
I don't like that. She's like looking at the corner of the screen.
Here we go. Our producer, Ryan Burks, has just changed our camera angle so we can cover the action to our left.
You should say hi, Phyllis. Natalie's mom is watching on TV. Oh, hello.
Natalie, you want to say hi to your mom?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Just say hi.
Hi, Mom.
Just went through. That's Natalie Dutton. So she made it to the match play. And how are you doing out there? Oh, it's a tight one between Colby and Natalie. See, still contested though.
Can't miss easy spares.
One good shot at a time. All right, so Josh Myers had a double, but he had a 6-7-10 split. Oh, making an excellent effort at it. Got one out on it, so he's going to finish with 155. And his opponent has 242, I believe. So that was a easy win, regardless of how the count totaled up. Yep, 242. Well, our proprietor, Brian Benini, with a 6 count up to 2-4-5-7, a pesky little spare. Opponent has 132 through 9, working on a spare. So he has a potential 172. Brian needs to make this fair.
Oh wow, this is closer than it was when I left for my station identification.
Wow.
He set the mic.
David Cheney up to 3, 6, 7, 10. Here's first shot in the 10th frame. So he has a very difficult split, but it's makeable. And Brian missed a spare. So, situation is this. David Cheney needs to convert.
I think Mr. Minetti has it.
He made a very good shot. Did not convert. So Brian Benini shoots 164. David Cheney shoots 147. So that was a tough match. 164 won a match.
Yeah.
All right, now
Brian.
Miss Dutton is up on lane 8, working on the strike, 137. Oh, and she crosses over and carries it.
Down on 1 and 2. Down on 1 and 2, our last year's winner was bowling Tyson Cook, who had the match in hand, or so it seemed. And then, as Ryan Powers is wont to do, he started striking. So
He finds a way to do that.
he did. So he's going to remain in the winners bracket,
Wow.
and Tyson will be going to the contenders.
All right. So 167 max for Colby Money. And is it going to get up? And it does, and she mixes it out. And right on time, Natalie Dutton doubles in the 10th frame. Winner match.
How did Wesley Edwards do down here? 164 and some change. He can get some hits.
Yeah, Wesley.
He's going down also.
It's another low scoring match, 183 to 160 something, whatever Wesley gets on the count on his spare attempt. And well, Natalie's just on fire right now. She carried a Brooklyn, she carried a mixer, and she carried something else for a strike. And if I was her, I would find the nearest convenience store and buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah, I'm going to the casino casino on Wednesday. So
Okay, she informs me that she's going to casino on Wednesday. Hopefully this
In
luck
Baton Rouge.
continues. Ah, so you're going to go Bowl Nationals in Baton Rouge?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, very good.
This is your warm-up tournament.
I think you'll find a shot at Nationals be easier than this.
What?
I said I think you'll find a shot at Nationals be easier than this.
hey, we'll see how it goes. I heard it's rough.
That's what we're hearing.
Yeah,
too.
we heard too. We didn't vote, but everybody I know that is gone, they were not happy with their experience.
I went last year and for my first time and I averaged 190.
That's good. That's again, fill some frames, right?
So now you have experience under your belt.
Absolutely.
I was scared because I didn't know what to expect. It was like, wait, you have to like walk out on the lane. They did a whole.
Isn't that fun?
That's her favorite part.
That's
Yeah.
my favorite
So
part.
they did that for the women, but you didn't have to have your balls with you.
Right.
And they did like the Carrie Underwood champion song.
Right.
That was pretty cool.
My first time I was there, we had like a drum major almost. He was like marching. It was so much
Well,
fun.
we were on the last lane, so we had to carry our balls all the way down South Lake and around. And Southwest messed my bags up from when I was in South Vegas last time, 2 weeks ago. So it's hard to drag my bag. Hopefully I don't have to do that. I can tell her, hey, this bag is not. Did you win?
All right, everyone. Well, that was Natalie Dutton. Had a little conversation with her in between matches here,
We did.
sharing her experience from Nationals and the Women's Championship.
Oh my. Brent Boho was doing all right. There was open from his opponent in the 9th frame, and then he had a 4 out. Big red circle around that 4.
Boy, so we got a tough match down there. It's like about a 130 versus a 140, 150, and 150 is going to win. So, well, we were talking about you, Mr. Powers, a minute ago
because you took out a local bowler.
you kept finding a way to throw strikes, and I said Ryan Powers, he does that.
I threw 2 when I needed.
Well,
You did great.
I said he's doing
But we haven't bowled on that pair all tournament.
Ryan Powers.
Right?
It's really weird.
Yeah, I've bowled
So
on
let
in
us
a
know how you feel.
couple of
You're on
local
camera.
tournaments. I've bowled on 1 and 2. They play a little different than the rest of the center for
You're
sure.
on mic. Let's put it this way.
It's okay. Ryan, they gave me this job, and they know I say what's on my mind. So
He does. They gave him this job, and now we have earphones in our ears, and he can talk over himself. It's drawing me crazy. So who's your upcoming opponent? Do you know yet?
I think it might be it's probably over there on the board.
I anticipate we're going to have the 2-time champion Ryan Powers on this pair, since he's just setting up his personal live stream
I'm
on 9 and 10.
anticipating that too.
We don't know who his opponent is at this venture.
Well, we're just finding out that somebody has Jasmine Snell for a ball caddy.
Well, if I had to lay money on it, I would say it was Victor, but
Maybe.
They're talking about you. I love the mini Natalie interview.
Tell her thanks.
and we have Natalie Dutton back in our broadcast booth with us right now, getting the message back that her mom loved the interview that we had with her a little bit ago.
Yeah, she lives in Oklahoma, so she always tries to come up for tournaments, but she was there with me in Vegas.
Well, fortunately, she can watch this one.
Exactly.
You need station identification.
Well, I could use the station identification.
I think you should take it.
I will turn this over to my broadcast partner, Rhonda Brown Smith.
Rhonda Brown Smith doesn't like talking on these things.
Oh,
So if
she does
it's
a great
very quiet, then just understand. All right, so
All right, guys, we have a nice little 10 frame roll off on 3 and 4 between Nick Gilpin and Jim Lewis. You guys are ready to go.
oh my goodness, this is exciting. Well, we're gonna go down there and see what's going on. Check it out. Free bowling in a match. I think we have a 9th, 10th frame. And Nick opens with a strike. It could have been a warm-up shot, but I think that this is their pair, so they're probably getting to. All right. Jim Lewis was so much fun to watch last year because he didn't think he was going to make it into match play, and he got himself snuck in, and he won actually a couple matches. But now he's opened in this first frame, and Jim has got some work to do so that he doesn't get shut out. That's much better. So Jim is not going to give up the ghost here. So Nick has 18 in his 9th frame to Jim's 9 pins. That one went far out, and I don't know how he's going to feel about this. Looks like Nick has got things in control here. Oh, he did. He's out. So 28. He needs 2 to tie. And we have a tie. So probably I think we're 1 bowl roll-offs now, aren't we? The suspense is killing
Usually
people.
that's how it works, but we haven't seen anything from our tournament director, Ryan Burks.
We want to get as much out of this as we can.
Yeah, I guess.
So bowling fans, I think we have free bowling continuing here on lanes 3 and 4.
What was that one tournament where they had EJ Tackett and they went to like 6 frames? Yeah, right? That was so exciting. Yeah, it was nuts.
All right, 3 and 4, go ahead and 9th and 10th again. Another tie.
Oh, and 9th and 10th. Oh, wow. Here we go. Just to pop the corn.
Nice little high in his pocket there, leaving a 4 pin. Nick has chosen the bowl. He's up on lane 3. And high in the pocket for a 4 pin, but he manages to trip it out for a strike. And Jim Lewis, he didn't like it off his hand. He walked away from it. The ball was completely hooked off the lane. So 9 miss in the 9th for Jim. That was first shot in the 10th here. All right, excellent shot for a strike. So he really needs to throw a couple more. Nick Yoakum has the strike working in the 9th, first shot in the 10th. There goes Brooklyn, leaves the 6th pin. That's got 28 total right now. It'd be nice for Jim Lewis to strike right here in this shot. And he carries a Brooklyn. So Nick needs to convert this single pin spare. And it looks like it's down. All right, so
Baseball spare ball.
Situation here. Jim could use another strike, and he's going to get a Brooklyn and 9 count. So he's going to have 38. I can't see a Nick's score, but I believe if he gets a 9 count, we have another tie.
Strike to win.
Strike is a win. Strike win, 9 tie. Anything less, loss. Oh, and JR hangs on to a double roll off.
Oh, man.
To defeat Nick Yoakum.
That was exciting. So Jim gets excited. Last year, I don't believe he made it out of contenders, but he did win 2 or 3 matches, and it was always fun to watch him get excited when he won. So
So do we have off the round? Or are we bowling red?
yeah.
I was like thinking out loud. Like if anyone had an
Sorry, I'm not good at the transfers.
if you go to the PBA Midwest page, it has an actual calendar. It's like on a. Well, that's very close. So I would, yeah, that's I think that's where we can.
All right, that concludes round of 32. As soon as they get done boiling, we go right back in. Some pairs will have more matches than others. Practice-wise, we do 2 minutes per person per pair.
We have a little break in the action right now while we're getting a little reload going on for that match. We'll be here on Lanes Time 10. We are live from Revolutions Lanes and Fun Center in St. Joseph, Missouri. Brian and Jackie Manini, proprietors. This is the 3rd annual Missouri Masters Tournament.
Check our sponsors.
So during this little break, let's thank our sponsors. So we have Miller's Tire, Missouri Bowling Tournaments, C&M Truck Service, Genius Graphics, Berkey Turkey Bowling Supply, and Berkey Turkey's Pro Shop. proprietors Ryan Burks and Dan McCook. Ryan Burks is our tournament director. We'd also like to thank Lisa Findley, who is your local shelter insurance agent. And Lisa sponsors a number of bowling tournaments in the region, the local association, and is a bowler herself. Special thanks goes out to the Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour tournament director Dan Schmierbach, who runs a series of fine scratch tournaments for senior bowlers age 50 and older, a number of stops throughout the regular bowling season, typically starting in September and running through April. Well attended, well contested events, excellent scratch competition for the competitive senior bowler. Also, we thank Storm Bowling for their sponsorship of the 2025 Missouri Masters. So if you're watching and you have a moment, share the post. See if we can get some more bowling fans tuning in for the 2025 Missouri Masters. The more viewerships we get, the better we can maybe get some sponsorships for future tournaments. This is the third annual Missouri Masters, and we're hoping to grow the tournament. The tournament is very popular. A lot of excellent bowlers competed this weekend. We had 75 bowlers with 3 entries. We had 122 entries. So we had a squad on Friday evening, 3 additional qualifying squads on Saturday. We cut to the top 48 bowlers who had a catcher's round this morning. And then from the qualifying rounds, the top 16 bowlers were automatically seeded into the match play bracket, and the remaining 32 bowlers competed for the top 16 spots. So out of the group that bowled at 9 o'clock this morning, those top 16 bowlers were seeded into the match play bracket, which is underway now. We've had 1 round of match play, so we've got brackets. We've got bowlers that found their way into the contenders bracket or the elimination bracket. This is a double elimination event, so you have to lose 2 matches to be eliminated. We've had 1 round of match play, so half the bowlers are off to the elimination bracket and the other half remaining. And one of the bowlers is standing right here to my right, and that's Mr. Jim Lewis, who last year managed to go a lot deeper in the tournament than what he thought, and he did. And he just won a double roll-off down there against Nick Yoakum on lanes 3 and 4. Jim, what was going through your mind during that thing?
That was tough. I shouldn't be as nervous as I am because I used to do this all the time as a junior, but I'm very nervous.
Well, you made it just relax, Jim, and bowl. You know, I know you bowl a lot of tournaments and a lot of events here in St. Joe. And
yeah, but I'm usually a typical house shot warrior. This is a little tough.
Well, this is certainly not a house shot, and I think you're showing you're not a house shot warrior. You've made it twice now into this position here in this tournament on a hard shot against some very good bowlers.
Yeah, thank you. Yep, and I have 2 more games at least to go.
There you go. And Jim says, you know what? Worst thing that happens, I got 2 more games of bowling.
Yeah, yep.
So anything can happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, all right, we'll keep doing what you're doing, sir.
Thank you.
Okay.
In the meantime, I'll take this over here and they can look at the bracket.
All right. Well, we're going to walk over, have a look at the bracket.
The winner's side.
It's coming up. Who's next on the featured pair?
Let's see. Powers. Got multiple matches on 9, 10, and 11, 12. All right. Oil a few more lanes.
Little break here, bowling fans, while we're re-oiling the lanes in between some of these matches. It will be interesting to see how the pattern starts to play, if it plays any differently, if this pattern's been laid down 4 or 5. This will be about the 6th time this pattern's been laid down, and as a lot of experience tells us, sport shots tend to get flatter and flatter as they're laid down over and over again. Our, our lane surface here is a Brunswick anvil lane. It's in its fourth season, so it's still a very flat, very low friction environment. So our upcoming match on our featured pair will be Tucker Haynes versus our proprietor Brian Manini, CJ McCoylis versus our defending champion Ryan Powers on lanes 9 and 10. So once again, let's thank our sponsors. We have Revolutions Lanes and Fun Center, Miller's Tire, Missouri Bowling Tournaments, Genius Graphics, C&M Truck Service, Storm Bowling, Shelter Insurance, your local agent, Lisa Findley, and Herky's Pro Shop, our proprietor, our tournament director, Ryan Burks, and Dan McCook, proprietors of Berkey Turkeys. You can visit them at BerkeyTurkeyBowlingSupply.com. They can service all of your bowling needs. And I'm honored to do the broadcast today. My name's Monty Smith, and I have my lovely wife, Rhonda Brown, is also assisting me with the broadcast.
That I am doing the best I can. Thank you very much.
Yes, she is. While we're waiting for Matchplay to resume, don't forget to share this page with your friends. Let's get some more viewers. Feel free to visit Berkey Turkey BTBowlingSupply.com's website for all your bowling needs.
Looks like you're right on schedule.
Ready to rush this crap show?
Hey, it's gonna be a good match, I'm sure, coming up here on 9 and 10. Just waiting on the lane maintenance, the finish laying the pattern down once again. So we have been live streaming during the event. The total number of entries, including re-entries, was 122. The top 48 made the cashier's round. And the cut for the cashier's round was a 3-game series of 5-10. And that was Dalton Cook. The high series for the qualifying rounds was 656 by Ryan Scott. We are live from Revolution's Lanes in St. Joseph, Missouri. We are in between matches as we re-oil the lanes when we resume play in just a little bit. On lanes 9 and 10, our featured pair, we will have Tucker Haynes versus our proprietor, Brian Menini. CJ Bacoilis versus our defending champion, Ryan Powers. On lanes 11 and 12, we will have Cam Brundridge versus Trey Myers. Jason Tapscott versus Natalie Dutton. To our left, on lanes 7 and 8, we will have Jared H. is what we have on the screen, versus Jim Lewis, who we spoke with just a little bit ago, who managed to survive a double roll-off tie to remain in the winner's bracket. And Jim took a shot at himself and basically said he was just a house shot bowler. And I reminded him that he's made this match play 2 years in a row, and he ran deep in the match play last year. So house shot bowler, maybe, but he's doing very well here on a very challenging and demanding pattern against a field of very experienced good bowlers.
I think he qualified like 10th or 11th.
Jim had a very good tournament. He, if I recall, his qualifying round, he shot a pair of 220 games. Then his third game, he must have found all kinds of trouble because he shot like 130.
Right.
But
he
had he
was
shot
way
it,
up there.
had he shot another 220 game, he would have had high series for the event.
Ryan Powers just brought out a newly surfaced pink black widow.
Well, Ryan.
It looks like velvet.
Ryan has dominated this event for 2 years, and he's in that position right now. And his arsenal is very simple. He has a purple hammer and a pink black widow hammer with a lot of surface on it. And when one ball isn't working, he switches to the other. And last year we asked him, well, Ryan, what's going to happen when neither one of those balls is working? He said he didn't know. So maybe we'll find out this year. Who knows? Time will tell. Okay, Tournament Director Ryan Burks has requested that the contestants report to their pair and that the match play will resume in approximately 5 minutes. So please stay tuned. If you need to take a little break, grab a snack, crack a beer, now's the time before we return back to competition here at the 2025 Missouri Masters.
Yeah. Fortunately, I was looking very, very rough there. And you gotta get that. This makes it serious. If I'm like, I just staying alive. Match is over.
That's rough. 14 frames.
Why are you guys rolling extra like that?
We tied, and then we tied again the first one, and we had won by a pin in the second one.
Chad is gardening and listening. Pretty sure that's
What?
I was just like trying to figure out what Chad's doing while we wait for these things to get going. And Courtney's like, Chad is gardening. Be one with the ball, yeah. Be one with the idol.
All right, unless there's any objections, I think we're gonna go ahead and start.
Let's get going.
Okay, competitors are advancing
5 minutes of practice. Excuse me.
to their pairs. You're going to get. Apparently, they announced 5, but the timer's showing 10 minutes of practice, so we'll see what they're getting.
We got 5 minutes of practice.
5 minutes of practice, according to tournament director Ryan Burks. Well, on lane 7 and 8, we have Jared versus Jim Lewis. On 11 and 12, off to our right, we have Cam Brundage versus Trey Myers. Jason Tapscott versus Natalie Dutton. Here on our featured pair, we have Tucker Haynes versus Brian Manini and CJ Bacoilis versus Ryan Powers.
Okay.
Facing that way. You got 11 people in
If you're watching our broadcast, please share it. Let's get some more viewers on this show. We got some good bowling here. We got some solid competition. 2025 Missouri Masters.
This line and that line. 9, 10, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12.
During our warm-up phase, we have couple players looking to find that same fourth arrow shot that we saw in our previous match. Proprietors bringing a lot of surface off the gutter on lane 10. That shot looked pretty good. The other shots weren't making it back. A couple minutes left in warm-up here before our competition begins. competition here in less than 1 minute at the 2025 Missouri Masters, Revolutions Lanes and Fun Center in St. Joseph, Missouri. Our proprietors are Brian Manini, who is competing on this spare, and Jacqueline Manini, who is most likely doing all the food chasing, as she's been doing all weekend. Thank our other sponsors, Miller's Tire, Missouri Bowling Tournaments, Genius Graphics, C&M Truck Service, Berkey Bowling Supply, and Berkey Pro Shop. Ryan Burke, and our proprietor. Ryan is also our tournament director. Shelter Insurance with your local shelter insurance agent. Lisa Bennett. Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour. Tournament director Dan Schneerbach. They run a series of wonderful scratch tournaments during the regular bowling season from September to April. Contested throughout the Midwest, and also Storm Bowling. All right, we're ready to get underway. We have Jared H. versus Jim Lewis on 7 and 8. Cam Brundage versus Trey Myers on 11 and 12. Jason Tapscott versus Natalie Dutton on 11 and 12. I'm Monty Smith, my broadcast partner, and my wife, Rhonda Brown Smith, calling the action for us here this afternoon.
And it looks like we've got the whole house in use right now.
And Brian Manini is going to start us off. Goes a good shot up the gutter, and it just does not find the head pin. Himself to makeable one piece there. We got Tucker Haynes is our first lefty that we've had on the pair here today. And yeah,
He
clipped
rode the
off,
quarter board, but he didn't make it all the way back.
clipped all 3 pins. So that's very, very typical if you miss right on this target. If you miss left as a lefty. And Brian's going hard and straight with that 1-2, and that seems to be the best strategy on a spare here today. We saw a lot of bowlers trying to shoot a spare with a little shake to the shot, and it's very risky business. Spare ball, plastic, hard rubber, polished up, shined up urethane, hard and straight for those spares. All right, see if Mr. Haynes can clean up this mess he left on lane 9. Right.
Down on 5 and 6, Victor Cortez started with a strike, and his opponent hasn't opened. I do believe there may be a circle around his 8 count. I'm not sure.
Tim Lewis with a beautiful shot on lane 8 to start his match.
Well, he's got some momentum going now after all that sudden death.
Look at that. Brian Powers bringing that pink Black Widow urethane off the gutter. What a beast coming off the gutter for a 4-pin. That's pretty much what he's done here the last 2 years. He's done the look outside with sanded urethane. He has a pink Black Widow hammer. He has a purple hammer. And that's what he's been throwing. And we asked him, so what's the game plan? He says, pink hammer, purple hammer. If one doesn't work, I'll throw the other. If nothing works, he doesn't know what he's going to do. So far, that hasn't been an issue because they work.
I'm already mentally sticking myself on that.
CJ Close left the pesky little 2-4-5. And spare ball straight at it should do the job. And there you have it. And let's see if Tucker Haynes can make a little better shot on this effort.
Natalie Dutton is right next door to us still. She can't get away from us, but hopefully she'll have another word in just a few seconds.
Well, Tucker's found a channel here on lane 10. Natalie Dutton is up on lane 11. She has a strike in the first frame. He crosses over for a strike, and a strike is a strike, and a double is a double here. 2025 Missouri Masters. And Mr. Manini got in a little, and he carries the Brooklyn.
Good, Jared Heiss worked on the pocket.
All right, there, Trevor Haynes manages to spare up that gutter shot. So that gutter ball and spare adds up and counts the same way as 9 spare. So he just needs to move on from those errant shots and focus on the third frame. All right, Ryan Powers, defending champion 2 years in a row, up on lane 9. And absolutely crushes it for strike.
I can't help myself. I have to turn it to 11 and 12 because there's a whole lot of striking going on.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I got a match over here between Trey and
Yeah, we
I
got
know, right?
that's the pair.
11 and 12 is looking pretty sharp here. Trey Myers triple out of the gate. Natalie Dutton with a double. Jason Hapcott with a double out of the gate. Jason up on lane 11. Oh, comes up a little high for him. Leaves the Greek church. And we're going to blame our tournament director, Ryan Birch, for putting the kiss of death on by pointing out that we had a lot of striking going on 11 and 12. There you go, Mr. Haynes. So he comes back with a strike after that gutter spare. And Natalie Dutton continues to strike. Now, she has 3 strikes. She has 3 strikes to start this game.
Yes.
Her previous match, not long ago, feels like hours ago, she finished the game with 4 strikes. So she has 7 strikes across 2 games and about a 20-minute break.
Are you smelling Andy Verapapa here?
Well, we could. We're not quite there yet, but we are in the hunt. All right, Brian Manini up on lane 10. And does not get the big core asymmetrical reactive ball back from the gutter, which seemed to be the case on lane 10. The outside part of the lane played a lot slicker than other pairs during the tournament. Trey Myers working on a triple, and he comes up high on lane 11. So we definitely are seeing the black cloud effect on lane 11 and 12. Once we pointed out all the striking, now we have all the splitting going on. Now Trey's left a tough one here, the 3-6-7-10, but it is a makeable split. Going to have to make a very good shot at it. And there it is. Nice conversion for Trey Myers.
Way to stay clean your plate.
All right. For Powers on lane 10.
Let's see what Natalie does, and then I'm going to turn over.
And absolutely impressive the way he's making that urethane peel off the gutter on this 40-foot pattern. He's talking 33 units of oil, gutter-to-gutter loads of 9. 35-foot reverse brush, and that's a lot. Still, that's a lot of oil to get that big hammer coming off the corner. What do you have for us, Rhonda?
Well, Jim Lewis and Jared Heistorf are still clean. The 2 of them do 5 now. Jared's up, but
Oh, we got us a match over there.
we'll see what Natalie does first.
Go, Mr. Haynes has found it on lane 10. So Jared has 7 spare, 9 spare triple shot here in the 6th frame. Who crosses over, ends the string of strikes.
Can't get that 4-pin to take out
Brian
the
Manini's going to move in on lane 9. And yep, there it is. that was the fun that I experienced on 9 and 10. Was if you tried to play the gutter, you couldn't get the ball to hook off the gutter. If you tried to play deeper, you couldn't get the ball to the right. So it was a challenging pair that Ryan Powers is making look easy. He has the combination with that surfaced up pink hammer. So what Ryan has found, he's found a solution to this 35-foot reverse brush. He's getting the ball to roll up early and make a strong, continuous move to the pocket. Excellent entry angle. And he's making it look pretty easy. It is not that easy.
Jared got bit by the 4 count that was left, and of course he could get the 3, 6, 10 and leave the 9 pin. Jim is still clean through 6.
CJ Poyas at 1, 2, 4, and we saw a lot of that. It's just so hard to convert that 1, 2, 4 in a traditional fashion. Tough to get the ball to sweep the 3 pins, and you get it high in the head pin and leave that 4 pin. Here we go. Haynes found something now. He's got a triple. Brian Benini's going to find something here. He's going to get buried. Well, he didn't like it. It crosses over for an ugly strike, but a strike is a strike is a strike, and that strike is a double. All right, we'll back over to 11 and 12. Trey struck in the 5th frame, so he's back on the strike ring. Natalie Dutton has the 8 spare, triple 8 spare, and shot here in 5th. 10 back.
There's the pocket.
10 back for Natalie Dutton, and her expression tells me that she was not expecting that. She certainly will take it.
But Trey and Natalie are clean, so they can pull away in their matches.
Well, Jason's back. That looks pretty good from my perspective, and there it is, 10 back. Jason Tapscott on lane 11.
He's giving Natalie a fight.
Well, he's going to put some strikes up the meter, but that girl's been striking for the last half hour. Did I just see Ryan Powers carry a footwork?
You did. You did. I don't think he cares.
Oh, I'm sure he could care less if it's in the pocket or a Brooklyn. As hard as this is, strike is a strike. All right, need a score correction over on 7 and 8. Mr. Lewis missed his 10 pin.
Oh no. There goes our clean lanes for Jim and
Tucker
Jared.
Haynes working on a triple on lane 10. Oh, a little high. I think he got just a little grabby on that shot. Just missed to his right. Left a 2, 4, 7, which is a tough shot, but looks like he's selecting the Storm mix to shoot a spare. There, Mr. Menini has found a triple. All right, so what do we have here? So right now, we have Brian Benini with the 4 frames, 78, but he's on a triple. So through 4 frames, Tucker Haynes is ahead of him, but through 5 and 6 frames, Brian's working on that triple and Tucker's working on the spare. So Brian has the advantage in that match. CJ Poyas is struggling here on lane 10, can't find the head pin, and Ryan Powers is up 6 frame on lane 9. Wow.
Whoa.
Ryan just right. That pink hammer came off the 2 board. And all I can think of is that combination of whatever he's doing. He's getting that ball to roll up early, and the surface is getting the ball to start to transition early on that 35-foot reverse brush drop, and it gets him around the pocket. Everybody else has missed that far right is with the head pin.
Do you
And that
know what
puts
I
him-
found?
Puts him right back into the pocket, and I think that's why he has such an advantage.
But I saw 7-10 split, and
Oh.
the 7 just took a while to make up its mind.
Absolutely, it did. There was 7-10 was standing. I didn't know how the ball was even going to make it back to the pocket.
Natalie Dutton's still clean.
Bowlers take note. I mean, there is something about throwing that sandy urethane off the gutter on this pattern.
Natalie Dutton's still clean, and Jason Tapscott just gave her an open frame.
Oh, he sure did. Natalie's been filling frames,
Yes, she has.
and she's a former collegiate bowler, and those college bowlers know how to fill frames. That's what this pattern's all about. All right, Tucker Haynes. He crosses over for a strike. All right, so through 6 frames, Tucker has 114, and Brian Manini has 117. So assuming Brian converts a spare, we got us a match.
Looks like we have a match between Jared and
Brian's got his match well in hand, but CJ Papulis just can't seem to find a solution to 9 and 10. Jim Lewis is in trouble over here on lane 7 and 8, but he is somewhat of a Houdini. He seems to find a way out of a tight spot. Let's see if he can do it here. There it is, 10 back,
we
Mr.
have a
Lewis.
2-pin match.
He has been hanging in there tough all day long.
So Jim has to match whatever Jared Tyson does.
Oh, through the face of Ryan Powers. That ball looked like it started to hit the second transition at about 32, 33 feet. So that urethane is chewing up that reverse brush 35. Okay, Mr. Manini, pretty good shot, a little inside, 4-pin. 146 through 7 for Mr. Manini. Mr. Haynes working on a strike. Has 134 plus his next 2 shots. So advantage back to Mr. Haynes. Brian's got his match well in hand. Back over to 11 and 12. Trey Myers is in the driver's seat. Should win. Natalie Dutton is in good shape. Jason Tapscott's not letting her escape, though. He's keeping pressure on her, making her show up, but she looks like she is comfortable. Now, our match.
Jim Lewis.
Jim Lewis open. Oh my goodness, a 3 count and 1 out. He has a total of 186, and he is going to find his way to the elimination bracket.
He is.
Okay, Tucker Haynes, 8th frame. Behind the head pin. So much of this pattern is buff. It transitions very quickly. It is not unusual to see a bowler have 2 really good frames and then throw a shot, send it right through the face. Here comes Trey Myers. He's bringing urethane off the gutter. 4-bagger, 8 frames, 7 strikes. Saw Trey bowling on this pattern. He bowled in the sweeper on Friday night. He won the sweeper, and he was bringing urethane 500 surface off the gutter. All right, Tucker Haynes with a spare. So got 134 and 144 plus count. So Brian Manini has about a 10-pin lead at this point in that match. Ryan has got his match well in hand. And what's Miss Dutton doing over there? She's got 146
She's got 146.
plus through 6 frames.
Yeah.
And Mr. Tapscott, he's got a 20-pin lead. Pretty nice shot. Just not quite finished. Leaves a pesky 2-8.
Spared up that 310 she just left.
Well, she's an excellent spare shooter. She left this 2-8 during the cashier's round, and she managed to cover it nicely.
Making those shockers proud.
All right. Tucker Haynes, ninth frame, foundational strike in the ninth frame.
Matchy now. See who can not spare or
Mr.
convert.
Manini needs to take a good shot, and for the record, Mr. Dutton put that 2-8 right to sleep.
There you go.
The sleeper is asleep. Brian got a little wide with that one and left 2-4-5. He just cannot get wide on this pattern. Down lane, it's just not going to make it back. I've seen two players who were able to bring urethane, get it set up early off the gutter. And those two players, Craig Myers, who just do a split over on lane 12, and Ryan Powers, the defending champion, is also making urethane look really good.
4,
Playing
6,
the
7.
third, fourth board of this pattern. Brian needs to put this there. Looks like it's down, hard and straight.
Cameron says, "Why can I double now when it's at the end of my match?"
Well, that's what happens. So Cameron Brundage had 4 consecutive splits. So it's just how this pattern can bite you real quick. All right, so Jason H. with a nice 220 game remains in the winner's bracket. Jim Lewis is off the elimination side. And here is Ryan Powers in the ninth frame. Missed it in. Right, through the face for 310. It's a tough split, baby split. It's a makeable split. See what he can do with it. Proprietor up here in the ninth frame. Working on a square.
Now this is going to be interesting because if Ryan Powers doesn't pick up this split and CJ is striking, it's possible he could put Ryan Powers down into the loser's bracket.
Wow.
And I'm thinking that for 2 years in a row, he had to be beat twice. If
That's
that was
true,
going to be the
because this is a double elimination tournament, and the tournament leader has to be defeated twice in order to lose. Now, Mr. Manini needs to make this fair, and he will. Should Tucker not strike on his first shot, his max score is 204. He needs a mark. I think any mark here for Mr. Tucker is a win.
Jason Tapscott just struck in the foundation frame, and Natalie is not going to be able to let up. So he's saying that she. I know.
Here we go. And a strike. Oh, a great shot. Stone 8. It tripped. So Tucker Haynes is going to defeat Brian Manini. And Natalie, this is a spare to give her 182 through 9. And
212.
Jason has what?
We're going to find out. He has.
Shoot 195.
All she needs is a mark.
So, in order to win, Natalie Dutton just needs any mark and good count in the 10th frame to shut out Jason Tapscott. She uncharacteristically missed that single. All right, well, Tucker Haynes has enough to win his match and remain on the winner's bracket side. So there is no accumulation of pins at this point. This is wins and losses. This is a double elimination bracket match play. The winner stays alive in the winner's bracket. The loser of the match goes to the contenders or elimination bracket. So they get to bowl one more game. And in the loser's bracket, the losers are eliminated. The tournament is over. All right. 2-12 finish. Score is really irrelevant as a win is a win. Here's the situation. Our defending champion is split in the 10th frame. should he convert this, his max score is 203. He really needs to convert this quick to force CJ Hoyas to show up. That's going to go hard at it. Got a lot of pins flying around there, but he's got a 192. CJ Bekoyas had nothing through 6 frames, folks. Absolutely nothing. And he found it. Here we go. Uh-oh, he missed right. Good. Somehow, Ryan Fowler survives. Ryan has split 3 of his last 4 frames for 192. He's going to survive, remain on the winner's side of things.
But it's important to get that count.
Natalie Dutton struck the first hit in the 10th.
Let's go. Started out strong.
He's going to win. Jason's best score is 195. With the scout, he's going to up at 191. And Natalie already has 199 on the scoreboard, so she's going to stay alive on the winner side of things. Jason's off to the contender/elimination bracket. Cam Brundage is at 150. Trey Myers easily won his match with 230. Trey is alive as well. I believe Trey finished 4th place in this event
I believe he did.
last year. He's going very well. He's going very well now.
I think he qualified for it.
He may have. I don't recall exactly. Tyson Cook is alive with 179. John Colfax shot 154. Looks like Matt Harper at 160, and his opponent, Yoakum, who you saw in the double overtime roll-off, shoots 188.
Nick Yoakum's got his last ball.
So that was an elimination match. So Tyson stays alive, Nick stays alive, Mr. Colfax and Mr. Harper are out. All right, our matches are concluding. Let's take a moment to thank our sponsors, Revolutions Lanes and Fun Center, Brian and Jackie Manini, proprietors, Berkey Turkey's Pro Shop. Visit their website at Berkey Turkey Bowling Supply. Proprietors are Tournament Director Ryan Burks and his partner Dan McCook. Shelter Insurance, your local agent, Lisa Findle. The Northwest Senior Missouri Bowlers Tour, Tournament Director Dan Schmierbach. Storm Bowling, C&M Truck Service, Genius Graphics, Miller Tire, and Missouri Bowling Tournaments are sponsors of our 2025 Missouri Masters, which is live here at Revolutions Lanes in St. Joe, Missouri. Your broadcast team, yours truly, Monty Smith, and his lovely wife, Rhonda Brown Smith, here for your broadcast enjoyment on this lovely Sunday afternoon.
I didn't pay you to say that either.
Give you an update as soon as we have one available. Bowlers are moving around.
Having, I don't know when we have fresh or not. We still, well, I mean, we don't have fresh, but I don't know how many rounds we go before they reoil.
Some of the pairs had 4 games bowled. Some of the pairs had 2 games bowled.
I've been noticing though they've been balancing it out so that there were 2s where there were previously 4s. That was good.
Tell you what, I ain't so confident. I'm not throwing the ball very good.
Well,
I'm gonna switch to the purple maybe this match.
Well, you
you
told
had a
us.
great look early, and then it just seemed to start checking.
I started getting fast. I've been battling all weekend. My feet
Okay.
gets fast, and my arm swing goes too high, and the thing just
And you're
not
just
sinking,
yanking
and
on it a little bit.
It just gets out of control.
Yeah, out of sequence and just. Well, you know what to do, sir. You've been there. You're still alive. That's the important thing. All right, bowling fans, I'm going to take a short break for station identification, and I'm going to turn you over to my broadcast partner, Rhonda Brown-Smith.
I don't know what he's thinking sometimes. We're just going to have to wait and see what's going on. I see that Carly Kinney's down there still standing. Tyson Cook just gave me the thumbs up, so he's excited. He's still hanging in.
You won your first 2 matches. You now have a break.
I can walk over here and see if I can figure out what's going on. Great.
I need money for to go to match.
Wow. Interesting. Carly Kinney is not still standing. Ethan Licht put 204 on to Carly's game of 144. So Ethan Licht, who's from William Penn College, he's from Iowa, is going to be up against Trey Myers on lanes 1 and 2. They have a break. Ryan Powers and Dave Dentlinger will also be winners, and they will be on 7 and 8 and the next round. So they also have a break. Now, what's going on over here? We're going to have a 19 and 20 Tyson Cook and Jason Tapscott. On 17 and 18, we'll have Jim Lewis and Josh Myers. 15 and 16 will be Daryl Kaiser and Brandon Lallier. 13-14 we'll have Paul Stiegel and Brian Manini. Brent Boho lost his match. He will come up against Cam Brundage on lanes 23-24. Brian Strickland will be on 21-22 against Carly Kinney. So she moved down. That's right, because Licht beat her. Nick Yoakum will be down on 19 and 20 against Phil Cosper Jr. And Colby Money will be on 17-18 against CJ Bacoilis. So I'm wondering if Mr. Burks is going to be moving us down with the feed to the upper end of the house. Mr. Burks is up at the front desk. Everything's down there, so that's what my speculation was.
So I had a little walk up and down the concourse, and I saw a lot of urethane and a lot of sandpaper. There's a lot of dust being made by a couple of bowlers. So I think their solution is going to be find something off the first arrow, sanded urethane.
Your crossing mate, Ethan Licht, is still in the winner's
He is
bracket.
still in it. Kind of snuck in at the last minute. That's what this tournament was about. It's just about making the first cut, making the second cut,
Right.
Just winning matches.
It's 2 tournaments in one.
It's not a total pinfall event anymore. It's just win your match. Win your match in advance.
Do we have that sponsors list?
So while we're waiting for our next bracket play matches, let's thank our proprietor, Revolutions Lanes and Fun Center, Brian and Jackie Manini, proprietors. Our tournament director, Ryan Burks, and his pro shop, Berkey Turkeys. Visit them at btbowlingsupply.com for all your bowling needs. Our shelter insurance, local agent Lisa Findley, who is also a bowler, and sponsors this tournament and many other events in the St. Joe community. Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour Tournament Director Dan Schmierbach runs a series of fine scratch tournaments throughout the bowling season, starting in September all the way through April, throughout the Midwest. Kansas, Nebraska, Missouri. Very fine competition. He has some doubles events. He has some over under 50 tournaments. A lot of prizes, super seniors, super seniors. But check them out on Facebook at Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour. Miller's Tire, Genius Graphics, C&M Truck Service, also sponsors of the 2025 Missouri Masters. And last but not least, Missouri Bowling Tournaments, sponsors of the 2025 Missouri Masters Tournament here at St. Joseph, Missouri, at Revolutions Lanes and Fun Center. They're just awaiting validation of some scores, validation of where our next matches are going to be. Looks like we're going to be moving up to the higher end of the center. 24-lane center here at Revolutions.
Please report to your lanes in 5 minutes of practice.
Bowlers are being told to report to their starting lanes. We'll have 5 minutes of warm-up on their pairs. I anticipate we'll be moving momentarily. We'll be on the move here as we head down to find our next featured pair. Revolutions Lanes and Fun Center, 2025 Missouri Masters. Down the concourse. Bowlers are taking your warm-up shots. See if we can set up shop here around 17 and 18. Got a little bit of a space to work with. Okay. Our featured pair will be on lane 17 and 18. We'll have Josh Myers versus Jim Lewis. We'll have Colby Money versus CJ McCoylis over on 19 and 20. Tyson Cook versus Jason Tapscott. I believe it's Nick Yoakum versus Phil Cosmer.
Okay.
I just confirmed with our tournament director, Ryan Burks, that all of these matches are elimination matches. So the loser of each match is eliminated from the field. I just confirmed it with our tournament director. That was our belief. Just wanted to make sure. Well, down on lanes 23 and 24, we have Brent Boho versus Cam Brundridge. 21 and 22. We have Carly Kenny versus Ryan Strickland. And we're getting ready. About 14 seconds left in the warm-up phase. All right, and our warm-up shots are over. Pins are being reset, and our competitors are about to begin this elimination round. Up on lane 19, Tyson Cook. It's like a pretty good shot. Pretty good shot from Tyson. Leaves a little bit of a half 10 pin. Josh Myers with a wash out on 17. We got JR up on 18. Let's see if he can stay alive. Ken for one more shot. Excellent shot. Jason Tapscott on lane 20 high, but he breaks it up to leave a 4 pin. Nice. Tyson Cook makes easy work of that 10 pin for a spare. Start off his match. Beautiful shot from Colby Money on lane 17 to open his match up with a strike. All right, Nick Yoakum's up on 19. Leaves the 6-10. Tyson has his spare. His opponent, Jason, has his spare. Even match. Phil Cosper Jr. I think that's third lefty in the field. All right, high and head pin, breaks up the split, single pin spare in the works. Well, Nick Yoakum missed the 6-10. Jim Lewis misses a 3-6-10. So a little tough on the spare shooting here at the moment. These lanes have been contested on. This is a very difficult pattern. It's got a little bit of burn. 40 feet, 35-foot reverse brush, and we just seen another missed spare on lane 18. Very important to convert spares on this pattern. Very little opportunity to throw 4 or 5 strikes in a row. Jason
Brooklyn
Tapscott.
is sometimes queen.
Oh, a bad shot that results in a strike is gold. Tyson Cook, second frame, lane 20. As we've seen so many times today, he missed it a little bit, and it just doesn't make it back. Right, Jason Colby out of trouble on lane 18. He had a 210 looking at him. He managed to get it to collapse, leaving him 10-pin, single pin spare. Tyson can make this washout. And he does. Off his hand, I thought he had it, and it looked like he was going to miss it, but pins found a way to fall over.
Purple hammer coming out of the cabin on lane 20.
Seeing some urethane, so.
Are you?
Well, Mr. Yoakum went to a purple hammer, went through the face for a 3-6, but really anything that's a makeable spare is a good outcome right now. This is not easy. Jim Lewis trying to stay alive here. Through the face for a 3-10, but his opponent has 2 opens. Jim just needs to convert this split.
Daryl Kaiser staying clean.
Daryl Kaiser finished second place last year. He is in a situation, loses, he's on his way home, but he is clean through 3 frames, and his opponent has 33 on an open in the 3rd frame. So he is in the driver's seat right now, but these matches turn quickly, as we have seen. Let's see what he can do here in the 4th frame. Oh, ball just doesn't make it back. He leaves the wash out. 1-2-6-10. Right, back to action here in front of the camera. We have Tyson Cook and Jason Tapscott having quite the match. Jason should convert this spare. Both contestants clean through 3 frames. Bill Cosper is clean through 2. His opponent has 19 in the 2nd frame, and Jason makes that spare, but it was a little more exciting than he would have liked, but it's still down. Oh, and Jim Lewis with the blower strike on lane 17. So a little bit of a struggle match going on here. Josh Myers up in the 4th, comes up light and manages to get that 2 to fall out, leaving just the 8-pin. Let's see what Mr. Yoakum has. That purple hammer hand. He's just not getting it far enough left, but it strikes. And if I said left, I meant right. My other left. Oh, nice shot there from Mr. Cosper, but leaves that stubborn 6-pin. Well, off to our right on 21 and 22. Brian Strickland working a spare in the 3rd frame, 39. And he spares it up, so he has a total of 40 plus count on his next shot. And Carly Kenny's on an open with 44. So she's behind, stepping up here in the fourth frame. Well, heading to Brooklyn for a strike. So, and when you get a strike on a bad shot, what should you do on your next shot?
Put a good one on it.
Put a good strike on it for the double. Exactly right. All right, kind of down out of view on the end of the house, 23 and 24. Brenton Boho on an open through 4 with 53. And Cam Brundage is clean through 4 right now. It appears he has a 2-pin standing. Ooh, Tyson with the runaway. And he had his gutter shot on the first one, so he's in a bit of trouble on that frame.
I think he wasn't trusting it and he steered it a little bit.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that phenomenon. All right, so Tyson has 61 through 4. His opponent, Jason Hapscott, Williams working on the strike. Jason's in the driver's seat at the moment. All right, let's see if Nick Yocum can get the ball far enough right here to take advantage of this 40-foot pattern. That was an excellent shot. 10 back for Mr. Yocum. Gives him a double. Pretty good ball motion on that shot. His opponent is clean. Tight match. Much better shot from Tyson Cook on lane 19. Jim Lewis working the double in the 6th frame on lane 17. Ooh, 6 count, 2, 4, 5, 7. So it's a struggle match going on here, but he is in the driver's seat. Okay. Josh Myers converts the 7-pin, has 62 through 5. Jim has 73 plus count on this next shot. And Jim launched it down there, covers the 2, 4, 5, 7. So Jim's in pretty good shape, but things turn quickly on this 40-foot pattern. It's an 8-to-1 ratio. All right, back to 19 and 20. Jason Tapscott is clean through 5 frames. Has a commanding lead over Tyson Cook. Nick Yocum leaves the 3-9, which is a tough little shot on this pattern. It's a tough little shot on most patterns, but this one even more so.
Trade you out. Fresh battery.
Good. Okay.
Green.
We have a new mic coming into play, and I think this spare for Nick Yocum, and indeed. Let's go over here to 21 and 22 and see what we have. So Brian Strickland is clean through 6. Carly Kenny's having some struggles. Got 99 through 6 on an open frame. Brian has 90 through 5 on a spare, up in the 6th frame on lane 20. Well, not his best shot, I'm sure, but he got 9 out, 5 pins standing. Spare opportunity on lane 22. Tyson Cook on lane 20. Pretty nice shot. Comes in just a little weak on lane 20 and leaves the flat 10 pin. Well, Cam Brundage on 23 and 24 had a pretty good lead, and he just split. And who knows what will happen down there. These games turn so quickly. Phil Coster Jr. is clean through 5. And washes out. 137. Brian Strickland is clean. Is anybody else clean? Yes. Daryl Kaiser is clean and will easily win his match and survive this elimination bracket match. And we have quite the struggle going on 13 and 14 between our proprietor, Brian Benini, and Paul Stegall. It appears if they walk down here, it'll be out of camera view. Brian's working on his strike in the 8th and has 93. And actually, Brian has 103 and his opponent has 93. It's a 10-pin difference in this match. Brian just put one through the face for a split. So the struggle is definitely real down there on 13 to 14. All right, back to 19 and 20. Well, Jason Tapscott has got the lead over Tyson, but he had an open in the 6th. Tyson's really only down by 2 or 3 pins. So Tyson needs to make a good shot here. And Nick Yoakum just needs to fill frames. That's been the key to this entire event. It's fill frames. Jason Tapscott up in the 7th frame on lane 20. Very nice shot. Stones the 4-pin. Tyson's got a tough little 2-8 to convert here on lane 19. Needs the hook. And he did. And it does. All right. Good shot by Tyson. Keep this match close.
Charlie Kenny's fighting through.
Okay. Spare for Mr. Tapscott.
A 4-pin match there.
A very close match between Tyson Cook and Jason Tapscott. Nick Yoakum up on lane 19. And it crosses over for a strike. Close match here, 5 pins. Very close. Close match on 21 and 22. Close match on 23 and 24. I think the only match that really isn't contested is Jim Lewis is going to survive versus Josh Myers. So I labeled Jim Lewis Houdini earlier, and he escaped from that match down on 3 and 4. And here he is getting ready to stay alive in the elimination bracket. Aaron leaves that paralysis 5-pin. He's fiving himself down there.
After this round, I'm gonna plug it in for a little bit.
Oh, and Jason Tapscott with a mixer in the 8th frame. Oh, nice shot from Tyson Cook. Oh, it crosses over, and he strikes. So, still a 5-pin match. All right, well, Jim Lewis is going to win his match easily and stay alive. And Josh Myers is going to see his tournament end on 17 and 18. Beautiful shot from Phil Cosper on lane 19. I'm going to force Nick Yoakum to double. Keep this match interesting. Wow. And in Brooklyn, strike is a strike. So 5-pin advantage to Nick Yoakum. What do we have over here on 17 and 18? So we have CJ Bakoyas, strike up, max score at 200. Tyson Cook doubles up, next score. All right. Well, here's the situation on 17 and 18. Colby Money must strike on this shot or he's eliminated from the tournament. Oh, White Yoakum almost carried his 3rd Brooklyn in a row. So apparently I need to get my glasses renewed here. The new prescription. It does appear that Colby cannot win this match. His max score is 185, and he's already defeated by Bakoyas' 190. So he is eliminated at this point. So CJ Bakoyas stays alive. Jim Houdini Lewis stays alive. Down on 23 and 24. Cam Brundage stays alive. Brent Boho is eliminated from the field. Carly Kenny is up on lane 21 on a triple, and she is in good position. Well, misses the head pin, leaves the 2-8. Her opponent has a max score 203. He's clean, max score 203 if he strikes out. She needs to make this spare to force Brian Strickland to mark the 10th frame. All right, Jason Tapscott with the 7 has a pesky little split, 2-7-8. He's had to match. Him and Tyson Cook have been battling the entire time. And Miss Kinney misses a spare. We're at 185. With any kind of good count for Brian, and he's a winner. And Jason Tapscott missed his spare. I'm waiting to see what his total is here. It's 175. Tyson Cook with that shaker shot, beautiful shot for 9 count, but that should be enough for him to win his match and stay alive in the elimination bracket. Okay, he does need this. Tyson Cook must spare to win this match. Nope, he's going to miss it. Oh, and it came back. I thought that was so far right. It must have really dried up. Track must have been pretty dry.
He slowed it down.
Now that's a win. Now Brian Strickland over here had a runaway Brooklyn shot, left the 1, 3, 6, 9, which is not an easy shot. He has to make it to win his match. And he chops it. He's not happy. It's understandable. 177, Carly Kinney stays alive. Oh. Well, Phil Cosper. We still have a contested match here. Everything's been so close. We have Nikki Yoakum, 164 plus count. Oh, beautiful, beautiful shot for strike. And that was locked it up for him. So Phil Cosper has been eliminated. Nikki Yoakum remains alive in the elimination bracket. So we got Cook over Tapscott, Yoakum over Cosper, Strickland, Bell, Bikini.
Tyson Cook just said he hasn't made a 7-10 all day.
Well, he made one when he needed to. Sure.
We need to move because we need to plug in a battery.
Okay. All right. Well, we got a little technical issues going on here. I'm going to recharge. Get some power back on our camera. Review some scores, adjust the bracket. This is the 2025 Missouri Masters, live from Revolution's Lanes and Fun Center in St. Joseph, Missouri. Brian and Jackie Menini, proprietors. Our other sponsors, Miller's Tire, Missouri Bowling Tournaments, Genius Graphics, C&M Truck Services, Berkey Turkey's Pro Shop, Ryan Birch, Dan McCook, proprietors. Ryan Birch is our tournament director. Be sure to visit their website at btbowlingsupply.com.
re-oil, and then we will be back in about 40 minutes. 40 minutes.
Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour. Shelter Insurance with Lisa Findlay, your shelter insurance agency, and Storm Bowling, our tournament sponsors. We will be taking a short break to re-oil the lanes. We're anticipating that the action will resume in about 40 minutes. I'll give you an update from time to time. I'm Monty Smith with Rhonda Brown Smith. And please share the broadcast with your friends. And please stay tuned for some more action coming live from the 2025 Missouri Masters.
Got it?
Got it.
All right.
Ron, you got the mic still?
I just laid it down there.
All right, we're going to conclude this stream and we will start another for the round of 16 in about 30 minutes. So look for another stream in 30 minutes.
Back in the case and save it.